Hitoshi, how's the baby?
Oh, the baby's kicking just fine. I answered to my wife Mia with a gentle smile on my face. Mia and I started dating in college and got married when both our careers started and our lives became stable. Now that I'm 7 months pregnant, the baby is moving more this month.
Right. I'm sorry you have to take my place.
Mia said with a sad look on her face. She was a career-oriented woman who was working hard to achieve her dreams. So, I decided to have a baby for her instead and underwent an operation. There are 2 ways for a man to become pregnant with a child: insertion of an artificial uterus to allow fertilization, or implanting a fertilized egg into the abdominal cavity to simulate a peritoneal pregnancy. I chose the method where the fertilized egg is implanted into the abdominal cavity of the body, but both methods require a C-section to give birth. So that part is a little scary. Don't you worry about it. You have your own dream, right?
Yup, thanks. Then I'll be heading out for work.
Okay, take care.
Yeah, don't push yourself, okay? Bye.
After I see her off, I started to get ready for work as well. What? Don't I have maternity leave? Unfortunately, current Japanese society still has a low understanding of male pregnancy. I managed to get my work hours adjusted, but I still had to go in. The government has given me a child allowance, so even if I quit my job temporarily, I'll be able to manage. But the reality is that it's not easy to quit my job when I think about finding a new job and thinking how people will treat me. As soon as I arrived in the office, I was approached by a colleague. Hey there, pregnant guy. How are you doing? Not too bad, I guess. Yeah? Damn, isn't this sexual harassment? This is how I sometimes get harassed, almost discriminated even. People look at me strangely when I walk outside too. This is how all my days went by. Delivery day. I heard my baby cry while half conscious. Our baby was safely delivered by C-section and was growing up strong.
There.
Mio gently held our baby while crying and whispered,
Thank you.
That was all I needed to be overwhelmed with emotions. Looking back, I had a lot of difficulties due to hormonal imbalance, morning sickness, and so on. That's why I think women are amazing.
Akane, will you go out with me? I asked a flashy girl out as a dare after I lost a game with a classmate. I just want to get rejected and get it over with. Asking out a girl as a dare is the worst thing someone can do.
Yeah, sure.
What?
I'll be looking forward to our date next Saturday then.
What? I'm not in a position to say this, but I don't have any feelings for Akane. To be honest, I was confused by how this turned out. That day, what should I do? I should tell her it was a dare.
Sorry for keeping you.
Oh, hey. What? She's not flashy looking at all?
Huh? What is it?
Nothing. I had a different impression of you.
Oh, really?
Oh no, I'm getting nervous all of a sudden.
So, where are we going? Hey, your hat fell off. Here you go. You've got a nice hat here. It suits you.
Thank you. Bye.
Sorry, let's go.
She was so considerate towards that kid when giving him his hat back. Not everyone can do that. Wow, Akane is such a kind person.
Point 1. When you see how kind and respectful she is to everyone. Oh, well, to be honest, I don't know much about you, Tamaki. Do you want to go somewhere and talk?
Yeah, sure. To be honest, I don't know much about Akane either.
What do you like to do, Tamaki?
Well, manga and anime.
What genre?
I'll watch anything, but I think I prefer touching dramas.
Touching dramas? Like heartwarming dramas?
How did you come up with the word heartwarming?
It came up in my English test the other day.
I spoke passionately to Akane about my favorite manga and anime. Akane Kane listens to me so well. I'm embarrassed that she's staring at me with such interest, but it makes me feel happy. I feel like I want to talk more about things and amuse her.
Point 2, when she listens, looking at me straight in the eyes. Since we've been talking so much, I'm starting to get hungry. Did you want to go eat a big meal?
Sure. Where do you want to eat, Akane?
Let's go for curry, your favorite.
What? Did I tell you I like curry?
Earlier, when we were talking about your favorite anime scene, you mentioned that you were into green curry.
She remembered my preferences that I had told her so casually.
Point 3, when she remembers what you like. Let's eat.
So, are you okay with curry on our first date? I mean, it might get on your clothes.
What? The only food that splashes on your clothes is curry noodles, right? Spicy but delicious.
I don't know why, but it's adorable to see a girl eating so deliciously.
Point 4, when she's eating her food deliciously. I'm getting a little hot. Okay, I'm going to eat. What's wrong? Why are you blushing? Is it that spicy?
Oh, no, I just thought, when you eat, I thought you're cute.
Huh? Not at all. It's normal. Don't call me cute in public. Point 5, when she shows her genuine self.
Not as a dare. I like you.
Don't say that in a place like this! The year is 2020, New Year's, at my parents' house. The year 2020 has finally begun. I want to get a nice boyfriend this year. In order to do that, I want to succeed in losing weight. You say that every year, don't you? It's good that you're so slim. Why are we sisters so different? Is there a rule that the second daughter is fatter? In research done in Sweden on 13,000 people over the age of 20, it was found that the eldest daughter was more likely to be overweight. What? Why? According to one theory, the blood vessels in the placenta of mothers who have had their first child tend to be thin. That's why it's said they have a tendency to accumulate nutrients, which makes them difficult to spread out. Doesn't that apply to any firstborn child, even if it's a boy? Sorry, I guess they haven't figured out why their tendency was there after all. Statistics or not, why is my sister, who is firstborn and supposed to be overweight, so slim? Are you on some kind of special diet? I'm not on a diet, okay, but I do have a lifestyle that helps me lose weight. That's all? And it works? I'll do that too! Okay, I'll teach you. When I returned to my dorm, I decided to follow my sister's routine. The most important thing to make your body slim is to have a proper lifestyle. Wake up at a certain time every day and go to bed at a certain time. By doing so, you can maintain a consistent diet and exercise routine. Now let's drink. My sister told me that we are especially thirsty when we wake up. When you wake up in the morning, drink a glass of water. It's supposed to help with constipation too. The sun feels so good! Exposure to sunlight in the morning activates your body's cells. It will improve your metabolism. Let's eat. There is an important routine when you eat. Start with salads and soups and eat meat and rice later. If you eat sweets or sugar-rich rice on an empty stomach, your blood sugar level will rise rapidly and you will gain weight easily. Eating order. 1. Reserve dishes and salads with vegetables, mushrooms, and seaweed. 2. Vegetable side dishes and soups. 3. Main dishes such as meat, seafood, and soy products. 4. Main dishes such as rice, bread, and noodles. You have to eat breakfast. I used to think that if I wanted to lose weight, I should skip breakfast. But by skipping breakfast, your metabolism won't be up to its potential, and as a result, your body will have difficulty burning fat throughout the day. Okay, let's go to work. I've always assumed that I'm not good at exercise, that I can't go to the gym or do strength training, but the best way to make your body slimmer is to build muscle. The easiest cardio exercise is walking. The best way to lose weight is to get into the habit of walking. I get hungry when I move in the morning. I want to eat something sweet. In that case, just have one. You should be cutting out snacking, but the more you hold back on sweets, the more urge you feel to want to eat them. So don't hold back, just eat a little. Phew, I'm tired of working full-time on Sundays. I want to go to bed early. But my sister told me that just showering won't help me lose weight. It's a pain in the ass before you get in, but it feels so good when you do. Getting into the bathtub every day is said to help boost your basic metabolism. It's also important to hydrate after a bath. Drink at least 2 liters of water a day, not only after bathing, but frequently. If you only drink cold water, your body will get cold, so you have to be creative and drink it at room temperature or heat it up. Last but not least, get a good night's sleep. Lack of sleep is the worst enemy of beauty and weight loss. I'll continue to work hard tomorrow. Few months later. Sis, long time no see. Wow, Aya, you've lost weight, haven't you? Did you really lose so much weight just by following a skinny lifestyle routine? Actually, I lost weight and gained muscle strength by following the slimming lifestyle routine. Also, I've started going to the gym because I enjoy working out now. Oh, I'm so jealous of your weight loss. Don't try to lose weight suddenly and drastically, but try to change your lifestyle. You can get rid of the extra weight naturally.
My name's Kazuki. When I woke up this morning, I'd found myself lost in a parallel world. What the hell is this place? The people on the street all have neutral facial features. Their hair is shoulder length at most. People are either wearing skirts or pants, but you can't identify their physical features based on their appearance. And you can't tell clearly if they are male or female. They look Japanese, but I don't know any city in Japan where there's so many people who don't look like men nor women.
What's the matter?
Huh?
Wait, you're a guy? It's not good to cause a scene. Come with me.
Whoa, what? Just by finding out that I was a man, I was suddenly treated like this. I was very panicked inside, but I was taken to a coffee shop with a very relaxed atmosphere. And this person who called himself Yo taught me where this place was.
This is a world with no gender. Every human being is neither a male nor a female, but at the same time, both.
I don't quite understand. Are you saying that there isn't a female body structure or a male body structure?
Yes, there isn't.
Huh? Then wouldn't reproduction be impossible?
It's not a problem. There's a temple of life set up in each prefecture, and if 2 people pray as a pair, a baby will come out.
What? A baby will come out?
Yeah, it will appear above your head with a twinkle. Each person has up to 2 chances to do this in their lifetime.
Yo's explanation was too much of a fantasy for me to imagine, but the more I spent time with Yo, the more I understood what it meant to be in a world without gender. I need to use the restroom. Is there a men's room?
Go into the restroom over there. They're all private Western-style restrooms, and you can use any of them.
The toilets in this world are not divided into men and women. I wonder if there aren't any criminal cases. I asked Yo.
A case? What do you mean?
Well, if a man goes into a woman's bathroom, it's a big deal, isn't it?
No. We're all the same.
So, if there is no distinction between men and women, there's no assault based on where someone touches you?
It does happen sometimes, but dangerous people are just dangerous from the start.
It's true in the original world too. There are dangerous people without distinction between men and women, and you can get into dangerous situations no matter what gender. You're free to wear pants or skirts, right? Why doesn't everyone let their hair grow?
Some people have long hair, but I guess many just find long hair hard to maintain. We don't have to express our identity by the length of our hair like you do in your world anyways.
I've been wondering, why do you know so much about my world, Yo?
Well, I've actually wandered into that world before.
No way!
It was a very interesting system. You divide humans into 2 types based on physical characteristics, and it's randomly selected when you're born, so you can't choose.
Yeah, there are people who can't live the life they want because of that. Society is debating whether it's good or bad to have distinctions based on gender.
Maybe it is God who determines our physical characteristics, but don't the customs limit the way of life?
True. Is there romance in this world too?
Yes, there is. And because there are no men or women like in your world, broadly speaking, anyone can be a love interest.
Anyone, huh?
Still, your age, personality, tastes, and values can narrow it down to the type of person you like. You know, what often happens is that someone you didn't think anything of yesterday suddenly becomes your love interest. This is why it's best to be considerate to everyone. Also, when you find someone you're attracted to, you have to go for it right away because the competition for attractive people is very high.
Yo, you seem like a very popular person.
Well, I guess so. I just think it would have been a little easier if humans were divided into men and women, and rules were set for only opposite genders to form pairs.
How popular are you? I talked a lot with Yo. We went to many places together, and I stayed at their house. People in this world are all equal and treated the same. I realized how much, in the world I belonged, people changed their attitude based on gender. When I woke up, I was back in my world.
The call for gender equality. Now you're so girly. What, Miku? You're more like a girl. A boy shouldn't cry over something like this.
I returned to the world tangled in gender, and missed that gentle world I had spent only one day in. Men cry just the same too.
I've heard so much about it in books and on the internet. I was the tolerant type, so I underestimated it. In fact, when the contractions started, I just felt like I was having strong menstrual cramps and that I could handle them. What the? This is labor pain? I actually might be okay with it. However, a few hours later... I underestimated you! I'm sorry! Please forgive me for being so foolish as to think I could take it so easily! I was hit with a pain that made me want to apologize with all my might. I'm in a lot of pain. Let's have the doctor check you.
Your uterus hasn't opened yet. It's gonna take a long time.
What? Not yet?
No, not at all.
Please keep moving. Are you kidding me? The pain is already incomparable to menstrual cramps. Every few minutes, I'm hit with pain hundreds of times worse than the cramps. The pain comes and goes like a wave, and it gets stronger and stronger. Most of all, my back hurts. I feel a jittery mass of discomfort around my tailbone. I've heard that it's like being run over by a dump truck, but this is like being run over from the inside, not the outside. Or imagine the pain of being hit in the lower back with a metal bat. That sharp pain you feel right after being hit, it's that, except experiencing it for 5 full seconds. I can't do it. Help me. I'm sorry, I really can't. I'm dying. This torture kept on going, and I threw up. In addition, my stomach tenses up at regular intervals, but the surface of my stomach hurts like it's about to tear. But more than that, I feel like something is about to come out of my anus as my organs are being pushed around inside. I feel like I'm holding back a huge amount of diarrhea, but have been paused at the peak of it. It stops for a moment. I let it relax for a bit, and then again, the peak of the diarrhea. I was afraid of the waves of pain coming, but there was no time to rest. It's not going to be over until the baby is delivered safely. It's coming! It's coming! Hold it!
Sure. Here?
No! When I heard that it's easier if you hold a tennis ball against your anus, I thought they were kidding. But in fact, if it weren't for the tennis ball, I wouldn't be able to maintain my sanity. I was like this for several hours. In the split second when the contractions receded, I felt like I was going to lose consciousness. Now let's go to the delivery table. You're almost ready to see your baby. When I read about the pain of childbirth on my phone, I thought, the pain of sticking a watermelon up your nose? No one's ever done that. No, this is... The entrance to the uterus, which is normally closed, opens up before the baby is born and is about 10 centimeters wide at its widest point. And that's where the baby's head comes out, meaning that is how much it's going to be torn open. It's gonna rip! Hurry, come out! Don't stop breathing! In fact, I had a meniscectomy and my crotch was literally ripped open, but even that pain was drowned out by the contractions. It's over. A wonderful sense of accomplishment. I cried over the safe birth of my baby and the fact that I had made it. I then had to have my torn crotch stitched up. They gave me some anesthesia, but it didn't work very well, and I felt the pain of the stitches. It hurts, but but compared to the labor and delivery pains I had just experienced, this is totally bearable. By the way, the reason why people forget about the pain of childbirth after a few days is because it's not something we can experience in our daily life, and raising a child is too busy to remember how painful it was. When I look back, all I can think of is the phrase, "mothers are strong," something which I have experienced firsthand.
When winning, it's important to not be defeated in spirit. And in this world, there are legends of brave men and women who've confronted difficult situations with extraordinary methods. The brave man had been keeping silent since the interview began. So, can you tell us what motivates you to apply? What was your most memorable experience as a student? No matter what I ask, he won't say anything. What the hell is he doing? He made it all the way to this interview, and now he wants to turn down the job? Why haven't you said anything? Man up, shut up, and drink Sapporo beer. It's the signature line from the commercial starring Toshiro Mifune! Another man, who heard the legend of the guy who got the job offer with such an answer, did the same thing in his interview. Man up, shut up, drink Sapporo beer. We don't need people with no originality. And he too ended up creating a sad legend. That day, the brave man was very nervous. He had practiced so many times for the interview, but his nervousness was far beyond what he was expecting. Please explain what GNP is. This is it. I've answered this so many times in interview practice. Calm down. GNP. What was it? His mind was completely blank, but his eagerness to pass the interview gave him an unexpected flash of inspiration. It's, go for it, Nissan Pulsar! Pulsar is a small passenger car that was sold in Japan by the Nissan Motor Company from 1978 to 2000. He had given up on passing, but ended up receiving a job offer. Well, it's not so much he got the job offer because of that answer, but rather the result of his enthusiasm shown in other ways. A brave one in the middle of an exam was in great trouble. In desperation, the brave hero wrote down how to make curry and rice on his answer sheet. For some reason, they passed the exam. It seems their perfect way of writing how to make curry and rice was highly evaluated. As the legend spread, people all over the country were saying, if you're ever faced with a difficult question, just write down how to make curry and rice. In fact, some people even got college credit for it. In addition, there was a question on how to make curry in a science section of a 2008 Keio Junior High School entrance exam, as well as a serious question in an entrance exam for a certain company. Cooking is multitasking. Maybe the thing that goes into cooking is something that should be appreciated in other ways. An exam was about to end, and the bell rang. Time! Those in the back of the room, gather answer sheets from the tables in front of you. I'm not finished yet. Just a little more. A little more. You, the exam is done. Put down your pen. A little more. Time is up. I'll disqualify you. Phew, I'm done. Excuse me, but do you know me? Huh? How the hell should I know you? All right then. Hey! And so, the brave hero calmly walked away. Wait, you! It's not clear whether he passed the exam, even if he avoided being disqualified. In fact, it's doubtful he ever could have shoved his answer sheet in so fast and not been caught. Request permission to land. Keep on turning. He's a man with bad sense of timing, but a great sense of humor and a lot of guts. I sincerely hope he found a safe place to land in life. Cleared to land, runway company job hunting students.
My name is Asuka. I'm 8 months pregnant, but I'm here within these walls. This is a women's prison. I'm a prisoner. I was sent here for theft. When I was arrested for shoplifting and reselling, I didn't know I was pregnant. My boyfriend, I bet he's gone off by now. Still, I was not blessed with love, and I want a family. There are 9 women's prisons in Japan. Unlike men's prisons, they're not divided by crime or sentence. There are only a limited number of prisons that can accommodate pregnant women, so there are about 20 pregnant women here, each in varied stages. 1. Pregnancy checkup for a pregnant prisoner. Today is our prenatal checkup day, right? Yes, we're already in our 2nd trimester. Mika is a fellow pregnant woman who is in prison, and we have relatively close due dates, so we often go to checkups together. The handcuffs are kept on even while we're being transported to the hospital for a checkup. How'd it go? It's going well. That's good. I've been told to watch my weight. Then she wants me to eat a decent meal like a pregnant woman should. We eat the same as the general prisoners. They just add cheese or milk. There's too much rice and not enough nutrition. If you leave out rice because it makes you fat, they tell you not to. We've committed a crime. We are here to pay for our crimes, so we're not in the position to ask for the rights and livelihood that people take for granted. Furthermore, the cost of childbirth while in prison is fully covered by the prison. In other words, taxes. I'm sure everyone outside the prison thinks that I don't deserve to be a mother. 2. Prison work for pregnant women. Pregnant women work in factories where there are only pregnant women and elderly people with physical disabilities. This is because they don't know what the general prisoners will do to them in a typical factory. However, the work remains the same. The work in the morning is from 7:30 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. In the afternoon, we work from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. There are lunch breaks and 10-minute breaks, but the rest of the time, except for when we get permission to go to the bathroom, we just work, sitting there for a long time. The bigger the stomach, the harder it gets. Oh, my back hurts. I know. The time for exercise in the women's prison is about 30 minutes. During this time, we take a slow walk, rub our backs, or stretch. I'm sorry for making you feel so cramped every day. Feeling the baby move, I didn't have the mental space to look forward to the baby's birth. The bigger my belly got, the more regret I felt for my crime. 4. 5 days for a prisoner and her baby. I was transferred to the hospital on my due date. The day of the delivery, on the delivery table, my handcuffs were removed for the first time in a long time. I heard that up until recently, people had to be handcuffed on one hand even on the delivery table. But one pregnant prisoner consulted her husband. The husband consulted with the Ministry of Justice, and since 2014, the ministry has been working on the no handcuffs during childbirth policy, and currently there are hardly any handcuffs worn during childbirth. The guards stayed with me throughout the birth. Even though I was about to give birth to a baby, I was confronted with the fact that I was a person who was not trusted by society. That weighed heavily on me. After giving birth, I was allowed to spend 5 days with the baby. If my body's condition is good, I'll be discharged from the hospital after 5 days and sent back to prison. About 30% of people leave their children with their own relatives when they leave the hospital. About 70% of people leave their children to foster care. I heard there used to be a time when they allowed people to raise children in prison, but, well, there's no such thing nowadays. I'll be there as soon as I've paid for my crime. I promise. I'll come and get you. I had no relatives to rely on, so I left her in foster care. 5. Prison work postpartum. Within 2 weeks after childbirth, we start prison work in ordinary factories, first doing sitting work. The common sense of resting for a month after childbirth doesn't exist here. The prison wants you to finish your sentence as soon as possible. You had a baby, didn't you? I knew mothers who come to jail have no problem with their children being separated from them. Poor child born from a criminal. Have a decent job and no financial problems. No possibility of committing a crime again and living a stable life. Those are the conditions to take the child back from foster care. Once a criminal, I don't know if I will get along with the child, even if I finally get to bring her back. The only connection I have with my child while I'm in prison are the pictures that are sent to me once a month. I worry about my child every day. I know it's self-centered, but I still want to love you as a mother.
My name is Mobuda. I'm a simple, ordinary person who has little to do with the glamorous life. Today is my first junior high school reunion since becoming an adult. But I don't have any good memories in junior high school. Back then, I was a shy guy who rarely got involved with any girls and was made fun of by the cool guys. Long time no see! What are you doing now? I go to T University. Really? That's amazing!
Mobuda?
Did you hear? This guy goes to T University.
That's impressive. I remember Mobuda was always sincere and hardworking.
What? You remember me?
Of course I remember you. You never skipped your cleaning turn, and you were known to be very dependable when you were the student on duty.
I didn't know that.
Well, we were kids at the time, so it was hard for us to communicate those kinds of things.
Nakura, you've changed a lot. I had an impression of you being as more of an introvert.
It's embarrassing to be reminded of my old self, isn't it? I was pretty quiet.
Everyone's prettier, though. Girls change more drastically than guys. I can't even recognize some people.
Girls start wearing makeup and dress fashionably around the time they start college. Even the boys have begun to look more stylish, don't you think?
Hey, aren't those guys hanging out by the wall Hidekawa and his mates? Yeah, I heard they dropped out of high school or something and are working construction. They used to be such a riot. Why don't they join in with the others? It's not that they don't, it's that they can't.
We're all grown up now, so even though they were cool back then, looking back now, we realize that they're the most embarrassing people.
We're all talking about university or community college. They can't keep up with us. Hey, that's Kirara over there. Wow. She was flashy then, she's still flashy now. She's already had 2 children and divorced recently. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
She's been going around talking to boys.
She's been asking around for their numbers. She asked me too. What if she contacts you? I won't do anything. I know we'll never get along. At that time, in that small school, we stood on the same line, no matter how big or small our attitude was. But in these past few years, so much has changed. At the reunion, it became obvious that these differences can no longer be filled.
Women are on a mission to produce children. In the Edo period, the average age of marriage for women was around 20 years old. Infant mortality rates were high, and it was said to be around 20 to 25% during the first year of life. Therefore, women needed to have multiple children in order to have a healthy child. Even if I gave birth to 4 children, I don't know if even one of them will grow up safely. But there's no way I can let the family bloodline die out. Divorce is the norm if no child is born after 3 years. It's a time when marriage is meaningless if you can't have any children. Come on, I'll deliver a healthy baby boy. Antenatal training existed in the Edo period, too. There were no maternity checkups as we would know them nowadays, but there were various guides to pregnancy, such as the mother-child handbook called Tips for Pregnancy. I see. The mother's daily state of mind is crucial for the fetus. Watch your food, your daily activities, your posture. Don't look at things that are too stimulating or listen to things that are negative. Good gracious. There's nothing that is non-stimulating in Edo City.
Omatsu, I brought something that might be good for you.
What in the world? I have to avoid salt and spices. Eating soft-shelled turtles would bring a child with a short neck. Praying for safe delivery in the Edo period. On the dog day in the Chinese zodiac, in your 5th month of pregnancy, the ritual for praying for a safe delivery is called Obi celebration, or Chakutai Nogi. This custom has been around since the Heian period, the year 794 to 1185, to honor dogs that make births easy and safe. By the late Edo period, it was widely practiced by the general public. A relative who had already given birth many times would wrap a belly band around a pregnant woman. This role was called Obi Oya. Have a healthy baby, my dear. Leave it to me. Finally, time to give birth. In the Edo period, childbirth took place in a maternity home built outside the house, in a barn or other isolated places. Heavy bleeding during childbirth was considered an impurity and was shunned. The only people who would help would be my own mother, my mother-in-law, or the local midwives. It is said that the impurity of blood can transfer through fire, so every meal is cooked separately from the family. It's a tough time to be a mother who's about to risk their own life. During the Edo period, the most common style of childbirth was called sitting labor. They would hold on to a labor rope or a power rope hanging from the ceiling and push on their own.
I can't do it! Shut up and deliver the baby!
By the way, there was also a custom that considered shouting to be shameful. Tough postpartum customs. I did it. It's over.
Hey, don't lie down! Don't lie down for at least 7 days after giving birth. You'll get blood in your head!
I can't do this anymore. Let me sleep.
Don't sleep. You can't sleep for 7 days.
No, wait a second. Who would not be sleepy after being awake for 7 days?
And you're telling me not to sleep when I'm extremely tired after giving birth? Who decided to do that anyways?
Can I at least have something to eat?
Sure thing. Other food is bad for your health, so you can only eat this, all right?
It was a time when people frequently lost their lives postpartum. This mysterious custom may have been one of the reasons.
My name is Natsuki. I'm a new employee who just started working as a mortician last spring. When people hear that I started working as a mortician right after college, they look at me like, what the hell happened to you? The answer is simple. I've always been close to my grandpa since I was little. When my beloved grandpa passed away, I was devastated. But at my grandpa's funeral, the morticians were very kind to me, even though I was just a child. I was touched by their kindness. This job of making sure people's deaths don't just end in grief, I couldn't help but admire it. Okay, let's go! The behind the scenes of cremation is shocking. Is today your first cremation? Yes, sir. Today was my first cremation since I started working. Well, you're still in training, so just get a feel of the process. It's just that today's client is a very plump woman, so it'll take some time. Why is that? The more fat you have, the longer your body takes to burn. It's hard for young women to burn, but today is gonna be even harder. I learned the cremation procedure by watching my senior at work. After the family of the deceased had said their goodbyes in the front, the ignition was switched on. Both of us in the back of the incinerator prayed as well. So it's not just like we're waiting for the body to burn. Huh? The body is moving! Senpai! Calm down, rookie. It's thermal rigidity, when the muscles contract due to heat. Then, this time I started to hear what sounded like voices. Senpai, is this? Just relax. It's just the air that has been trapped in the body is being pushed out. How can he be so calm? The crematory is a fight against the unexpected. Senpai, aren't some days hard for you? Yeah, it is. Especially when it's a kid, even more when it's an infant. You have to be very careful with the heat, or else there won't be any bones left. Hey, rookie, our job isn't to erase the customer's body from the world. It's to leave them here for their loved ones. Every day at the crematory must be a series of extraordinary events. Will I be able to work with pride like my seniors? Even if it upsets me? Will I be able to be like that mortician from that day? A few years later. Rookie, is this your first time at the crematory? Yes, sir! I heard that today's customer was addicted to thinner, so it'll be hard to leave any bones. Let's do our best. That's amazing! How can you know so much before you start? You remind me of myself when I was a rookie. Now that I'm a mid-level employee, I look at new employees and realize that humans get used to things, for better or for worse. But I'm sure that my principles have been strengthened. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here now.
Men who do not have periods, please shut up and listen. If you haven't had your period yet, please don't be afraid to hear this. I'm going to tell you all about the suffering I experience on the second day of my period. On the first day of your period, there is a relatively small amount of menstrual blood. It varies from person to person and month to month, but one thing is for sure, there is more bleeding on the second day than on the first. To avoid staining your clothes, you use sanitary products such as sanitary napkins and tampons, but they're drenched in red. If you miss the right timing to change it, or if it slips off while you're moving, your clothes will be stained red. As you know, there are advertisements for sanitary products that mention use on the second night of your period. Without taking sufficient precautions, your bedding will be stained red. If it leaks and stains red, you can't remove it without washing it by hand and then putting it in the washing machine. In addition, it's difficult to remove the stains with hot water, so even in the winter, you have to wash with cold water.
The secret is Oxidol. The chemical reaction will remove it in no time.
The inconvenience of periods beats any annoying guy. The second day of your period is the peak of anemia. With so much blood flowing, of course you'll become anemic, feeling dull, getting exhausted easily, looking pale and making it hard to apply makeup well, ringing in the ears, heart pacing quickly, shortness of breath, dizziness, lightheadedness. It varies from person to person, but people tend to have these things happen. Periods are not a sickness. In fact, for young women, the absence of periods is a more worrying sign for the body. But not being sick is not the equivalent of being well. The second day of period is the peak of stomach pain. Stomach pain is also known as menstrual cramps. This pain also varies from person to person. Some people have almost no pain and don't even understand the concept of menstrual cramps. Some people can't even move because of menstrual cramps. If there's too much bleeding or if the menstrual cramps are too severe, please go to the hospital because it could be a uterine-related disease. Don't be embarrassed to go to a gynecologist or obstetrician. There's no shame in worrying about your own body. Conclusion: on the second day of our period, we don't want to move. Do you understand? On the second day of their period, women are worn out and barely keeping it together.
Just getting up from a chair, rush of blood. Just by laughing, rush of blood. Just by sneezing, rush of blood. Constantly on the alert for any leaking.
You have to spend all day long trying to figure out when to go to the bathroom and dealing with your poor condition. Moreover, you can't choose when you'll be in this worst condition. There are ways to control it with medication, but most people just leave it as it is. Whether it's a very important game or a very serious date, once it happens, you just have to deal with it happening. I think those who haven't had their periods yet are getting worried, but all women are getting through it somehow with their own methods. Struggling to deal with the inconvenience, but somehow managing it, makes me feel like I've grown up. I would like to say to all the men out there that if someone is feeling sick, it would be nice if you could help care for them. And to those of you who are on the second day of your periods, take care. Did you know that Japan is one of the most volcanic countries in the world? Of all the world's active volcanoes, 7% are located in Japan. In particular, Sakurajima in Kagoshima erupts frequently. The volcanic ash has caused all sorts of damage, including stains on laundry and scratches on car windshields. But of course, the volcanic ash is not the only terrifying thing about eruptions. When you imagine a volcanic eruption going boom, the first thing that may come to mind is the gooey red liquid. The liquid blown out of the crater is called lava. Lava consists of the gooey liquid substances and the rocks that are formed when it solidifies. By the way, when lava is underground, it's called magma. It may be easier for you to picture magma. So what would happen if a person fell into the lava, which is the magma that came up to the surface? Solidified lava. Even if it's solidified, it would definitely still kill me, you might think. But if it's solid, in fact, you'll be fine. In fact, a researcher in Hawaii once walked on solidified lava. As long as you wear shoes, you won't get burnt. However, this researcher made a terrible mistake. Shallow puddle of gooey lava. He accidentally stepped into lava, which was in gooey liquid form.
I knew it! He died!
Is what you're thinking, right? But no, that's not the case. He only suffered severe burns. You might think that stepping into lava would instantly melt your body, but since 60% of the human body is made up of water, it doesn't melt immediately. However, if you keep your feet in it continuously, it's life-threatening. From the heat of the lava, your feet will start to burn, followed by difficulty breathing due to the extreme temperature. Finally, the flames will spread to your entire body. In other words, you may not die instantly, but you will likely end up dead. It's hard to tell the difference between solidified lava and lava in liquid form by just a quick glance.
You mean I can walk on the surface of solidified lava, right?
No. I don't know if you'll ever have the opportunity to do so, but please don't go walking around on lava. Deep lava. In shallow lava, there is a chance of surviving. But what if the lava is as deep as your height?
This is it! Instant death!
You're right. When it gets that deep, there's no way you can survive. Lava is over 1,000 degrees centigrade in temperature. If you fall in, you are likely to die before you can feel any pain. We usually take baths at around 40 degrees centigrade, and even with that temperature, we can't help screaming.
Hot! Hot!
So just the thought of 1,000 degrees centigrade is terrifying. Although not involving a human, there was an experiment where a bag of garbage was dropped into lava. In that case, the garbage exploded a few seconds after it was dropped. The moisture contained in the garbage reacted to the lava. As I mentioned earlier, most of the human body consists of water. If a human were to fall, there would probably be a huge explosion. We might be burnt up with not even a single bone remaining. As I've told you so far, if a human being were to fall into lava, they would not be able to survive. It is recommended to stay away from volcanic craters, especially after eruption. Which I guess is kinda obvious. Dwarfism. I want to be short! What's wrong with you all of a sudden? This new guy I'm seeing is smaller than me. It's just a little awkward. You don't have to worry that much about height difference. But I want to be shorter than him so he can carry me around like a princess. You know, there are people in this world who have conditions that won't even let them grow up if they wanted to. What? Is there such a condition? It's called dwarfism, and it can be genetic or primary. The cause isn't clear, but the growth hormones stop producing in the process. Nana, you're really cool, like a model, and you could choose any sport you want. I admire people like you. Well, I'm thankful for my height in that sense. Hypertrichosis. Anyway, isn't the tournament coming up soon? Oh, the swimming inter-high school competition? It seems like a lot of people are expecting you to do well, right? Let's not talk about that because it makes me nervous and sick to my stomach. I can't be bothered to wear a bathing suit. I need to remove unwanted hair too. But Nana, your body hair is fine. It shouldn't bother you. But it does! I think you have it easier than people with hypertrichosis. Hypertrichosis? People who grow hair all over their body. Apparently, it can be eased a bit by hair removal, but that's hard if you have weak skin. There's two types, congenital and acquired, and there's a high possibility that you have cancer if acquired. What? I guess you're lucky to be able to handle it with just a razor. Xeroderma pigmentosum. Well, whatever the case, it's definitely a lot of work for women in the summer season when we want to show off our skin. Aside from the etiquette part, I also don't want to burn my skin. I guess I can't help it if I get a sunburn. Why? Because I have a lot of outdoor tournaments, and if I have to worry about getting sunburned every time, I won't be able to compete. But you'd better be careful. Spots and wrinkles are fine, but there's a chance you can get cancer. Hey, don't scare me! I'm not trying to scare you, but there are people who actually have this disease. You mean they could get cancer just by getting sunburned? Yes, it's called xeroderma pigmentosum, and it's said to be caused by sunlight itself rather than sunburns. I don't know why, but it's common among Japanese people. What? They can't have fun outside? Is there any way to cure it? For now, there isn't. The best way is to stay out of the sun or wear a completely sealed hazmat suit when you go out. Congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis. By the way, I've been wondering about that bandage on your fingertip. What happened? I cut myself with a knife yesterday. It's not a big deal, but it'll sting in the water when I swim, right? Well, if you don't feel the pain, you'll be in big trouble. What? I hate pain! Think about it. For example, what if you broke a bone without feeling any pain? Oh, your bones would be shattered! By the way, this disease is called congenital anhidrosis, which means you can't feel hot or cold either, so there's a risk of getting burns or frostbite. There's no prescription for it, so there's nothing they can do but be careful on a daily basis. I would be super nervous! Cotard syndrome. Anyway, I'm looking forward to your upcoming tournament. Show the results of your practice. Oh, don't say that again. Should I skip the competition with a stomach ache? What are you talking about? You're the star of the show. I want to disappear into thin air. I don't exist. You know, that fantasy is a gateway to Cotard syndrome. What's that? It's a mental disorder where someone believes that they don't exist and are already dead. What? Am I crazy? I don't want to die yet. My new boyfriend, although he's shorter than me, he seems to be thinking about marriage and I want to have at least 3 children. If you have that much will to live, you'll be fine.
The road from junior high to company manager. I'm a junior high school graduate. My parents divorced when I was in elementary school and I couldn't afford to attend high school. Since graduating from junior high, I've delivered newspapers, cleaned buildings, worked as a security guard, and as a day laborer. I did everything. I was desperate to survive. I was 20 years old when I was hired by a construction company that recognized my work. From that point on, I studied hard to get my real estate certification. I was selected to work on a project to launch a real estate company for the group, and worked hard to establish a new subsidiary. I was promoted to section chief while I was in my 20s. The annoying, highly educated guy. It was a path won on my own. I thought I deserved it. I'd worked harder than anyone else for the company. However, there are those who complain about my educational background. Miserable people who use their so-called higher education as a weapon. Chief Takahashi, here are the materials for the upcoming meeting. It's well written and easy to understand. Let's add some more concrete figures at the end. Thank you. Takahashi, can I have a minute? Yes, Chief Yamaguchi. What is it? We're having a golf tournament with a client and we're asking the managers to participate. We don't have enough people. Is there someone available? I've never heard of this, but are you asking me? No, the head of the department is an elite graduate of Kaio University, and I don't want you, a junior high school graduate, coming. Here it goes again. This is an important part of our business, so we don't want to be rude. Didn't you have a junior in your team who went to Waseda University? Can we have him come? I mean, I don't even know if he plays golf. It's not really your place to decide, right? I'll ask him myself. Yamaguchi from the division next door is a pathetic guy who brags about his academic background. He's made his way up this position by using the fact that he graduated from a good university as an advantage. Whatever he does, he makes me his biggest enemy. The reason is simple. I'm better at my job than he is. That's all. The collision. Well, I'd like to organize a new team to work on this project. I'd like one of you, Yamaguchi or Takahashi, to be the leader of that team. What do you think? Yes, sir. It would be my honor to do this. Okay. How would you run this project, Yamaguchi? Well, I'm from a national university that is well known in the Kansai area. My team members are all excellent, and some of them have graduated from the top universities in Japan. If you leave it to me, I'll make sure the project is a success. Okay, Takahashi, how about you? Do you have a budget and timeline for the project? We're still waiting for the formal approval process, but it's pretty much set. This is a request from our parent company, and they will be investing. It's going to be a pretty big project. If I was chosen, I would work with the parent company to move the project toward the goal. I have connections not only within the company, but also with major general contractors and designers. I'm confident that I can make use of my experience in recent years in condominium planning. Alright, I'll leave it to you, Takahashi. Sir, come on! I can get better people than him! How long are you going to keep bringing up your academic background? You wouldn't be able to do it. Takahashi, I'm counting on you. Of course, I wasn't surprised how it turned out. Clinging to past glory will never bring new achievements. The true difference in capability became clear. Albinism. I want to have a unique destiny unlike any other. For example, having a different look from most people. An elf-like appearance with no pigment at all. There's a genetic disorder called albinism, in which people are born with an inability to produce melanin pigment, causing their hair and skin to turn white. It's so cool to be the chosen one! Some are visually impaired or have a sensitivity to sunburns. There are people in Japan who are born with it, but they have to dye their naturally white hair black to get a job. They're born with it. In Africa, there's something called albino hunting, where you can even get killed for having it. I wish we could just admit to each other that no two people are the same. Water allergy. An absolute weakness. That's cool. Like, I can deal with anything else but this. Have you ever heard about people being allergic to water? What? Water? It's called aquagenic urticaria. There are only about 35 cases in the world. The ultimate earth elements. It's not a joke. If you have it, it's dangerous to get wet in the rain, let alone take a bath. Even sweat and tears can cause an allergic reaction. They can't even take a bath? Apparently, they take short, cold showers 3 times a week. Basically, they spend most of their time in an air-conditioned room trying not to sweat. Polycaria. My evil eye is tingling. Let me tell you about the double eye, where there's 2 pupils in 1 eyeball. That excites the middle schooler in me. The medical term is polychoria, and it said that Toyotomi Hideyoshi had multiple pupils too. It can be congenital or acquired. So there's a chance I could get it too? If it's acquired, it's usually caused by the separation of the iris due to an accident. You might see double and need surgery. I shouldn't say I want to be like that without thinking. Fatal familial insomnia. I haven't slept in forever. I can't. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a person-by-person thing, but normally not being able to sleep is 100% lethal. What? Fatal familial insomnia is said to affect 1 in 10 million people. It's a really terrible disease that makes you lose the ability to sleep. Does familial mean it's inherited? If you have a family member with the disease, it is likely that you will get it too. And once you have it, you'll suffer from hallucinations caused by insomnia and have a life expectancy of 2 years at most. Hyperthymesia. Once you've seen something or heard something, you instantly remember it. Isn't that ability amazing? It's called hypersymesia, a supermemory syndrome. So it exists. Not being able to forget anything is a torture too. The uncomfortable moment of failure or the pain of losing someone you love will never change and the shock will remain the same. Forgetting is a good thing, I guess. You might want to forget your middle school behavior one day, Ren.
I'm Yumiko. Today is my first sleepover with my boyfriend. Hi, it's me.
Welcome, Yumiko.
I've been to this room many times before, and it's familiar. But the thought of staying here for the first time today makes me nervous. After dinner...
Yumiko, do you want to take a bath first?
Yes, thanks for letting me use your bathtub. It's finally time to take a bath. Wait, if I take off my makeup now, I'll be barefaced for the rest of the night. Hold on, I usually wear a lot of makeup, so won't he be shocked if he sees me without makeup after my shower?
Who are you?
It's me! But I can't leave my makeup on, that's unsanitary, right? I'll just reapply it lightly after I get out. Trouble 1, conflicted about being barefaced. Oh, Rio shampoo. It's weak acid shampoo. I'm going to smell like Rio today. What? There's still one rude bastard left in my armpit? Damn it, it's too slippery to pull out with my fingernails. What should I do? Just pretend I didn't see it? In a dark room, maybe a hair or 2 can be ignored. No, what if he notices it by chance? Never, this must be dealt with right now. I managed to pull it out with all my might. Trouble 2, discovering unshaved hair. I'll just wear natural makeup for now. Boys sometimes assume that girls with natural makeup are beautiful without makeup. I'm afraid of ruining his dreams and ruining his mood. No, my color contacts are now a part of me. They're like my body cells. It's like Shinpachi's glasses. Trouble 3, not being able to take off color contacts.
Thanks for letting me take a bath first.
Wait, is he asleep?
Did you just finish your bath?
Yeah, sorry I took so long.
No, it's fine. I know that girls generally take longer baths.
Oh no, I was taking so long in the bath that Rio got bored. Trouble 4, bath time takes longer than expected and your boyfriend becomes bored. I'm sorry, I was just cleaning the bathroom.
Uh-huh. You don't have to.
No, the hair that gets splattered in the bath after a girl uses it is terrifying, you know? The drain is like a horror movie. Trouble 5, the horrifying bathroom drain after a girl takes a shower. After that, Rio took a bath and we slept in the same bed. Next morning, I was so nervous I couldn't sleep very well. I usually sleep alone, so I was bothered by the sound of someone else sleeping. It's surprisingly difficult to sleep in an unfamiliar place. Trouble 6, unable to sleep because of the boyfriend's breathing. And I need to go to the bathroom, but I can't move. I'm happy though. Trouble 7, wanting to wake up but can't. I'm glad I managed to get out without waking him up. It hurt a bit last night and I'm still feeling a bit uncomfortable. My legs and back are sore. Rio's sleeping, so I'll do my makeup while he's still out. I'm pale from lack of sleep and I'm bloated. My makeup looks terrible. Making out with your boyfriend can make your skin glow. Really? Lack of sleep is the worst enemy of beauty. Really is true, huh? Trouble 8, being in bad condition due to lack of sleep.
Whoa! You've been watching me sleep?
Yeah, I took photos with the shutter of my heart.
That's embarrassing.
Good morning, Rio.
Good morning, Yumiko.
Even if things didn't go the way I thought they would, I still think it's great to be able to say good morning to him when he wakes up. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications.